Alright everyone, I made it back from my walk. This time I just did a video, because the last time I wasn't able to. It's just mainly me conversing and singing a little bit as always. So I'm just going to play it for you. Alright, this is the last one. It didn't play all the way because it didn't have enough battery power. I don't know if it's longer or anything, but just in case, I'll play both of them for you. You got the music. Yeah, we might jump. We might jump. Remember that song? Ladies. That's perfect. I can do electronic sampling myself. Alright. Sometimes you're just so overprotective you don't even want your children saying certain words. Come on, you tyrant. That's not going to save their soul. No. Only God can save your soul or resurrect you from the dead, not men. They might even attempt to kill you several times, but if God resurrects you from the dead, it has nothing to do with it. Keep telling you that. All right. Resurrection is not the same as not dying. You're brought back to life, right? Shortly after you're dead. The time frame ain't up to you either. And if the person has cognitive memory of everything before that too, not only was he resurrected, but he was healed to a point too, right? Of the death, right? Now Jesus was fully cognizant and could transform and different things like that and teleport. So you say what you want to say about it, but I believe God, right? Even if you don't, right? And I can't make you, but that's on you, right? Now, if you don't want to be resurrected now, you don't believe he will, he won't. But if you believe he will, he might. Right? You see what I mean? You see what I mean?
I don't even rack it out, motherfucker. You gotta say bullshit. Can't ass you up. I'm still walking. How you do?
It's not a rebroadcast, even if it's on in the background. You understand that, right? A rebroadcast is broadcasting a signal, right? Recording with the TV on the background and it's in another room, it has nothing to do with that, right? I'm not rebroadcasting it, retard. Nor am I selling the song on YouTube as a means of monetary gain, right? When I do a video on a copyrighted song, right? That's the point there too. And I'm not selling the video. I'm selling a lesson to teach you to sing the song, right, for yourselves, right? That's all. That's allowed with copyright infringement. I can even use parts of the song and teach you to sing that too from the original album, right? Because they have a bunch of songs on the album. They release one to the public and you buy the album, retard, right? If you like it, right? If you don't, you don't, right? Or you can't afford it, right? That's usually my predicament, right? I'm on a budget, right? But the radio is always what? Free. I ain't seen Captain Caveman in a while though. I'll see if it's on YouTube later on though. See if I can remember how he speaks and talks like that.
I'll look it up on YouTube.
I know he just. I remember the main part where he does the catchphrase was just Captain Caveman. I think I did that on the show too. We did the alternative. We did the little school talent show in the 3rd grade with Mr. Martin. Right? You can't prove I'm not real. Even if you name the machine, which ain't never be hypothetically, because I don't know that either. It's a coincidence, but don't mean I can't really sing or impersonate it if I didn't know what was going on. No. See, you know what you're doing. And if you tell people who use it they can't impersonate it and they don't even try them, I don't know all that. But if I learn to impersonate it, it's your opinion that no one can. Not proof no one can. And if you don't even try because you believe them over your own abilities and you don't even try, right? Well, you can't do it either. So I'm trying to teach you to sing with it like I learned not knowing what it was on the radio, right? Until I really looked into copyright infringement and mentions mechanical recording. Right? Well, what does that mean? I mean, it's produced by a machine, not a real human voice, right? Trying to mimic the human voice, right? Well, that's why I learned to sing with it. I thought it was a real human voice, right? I don't have no restrictions that your label tells you when you do your songs, right? I don't know anything about that. So see, they're only trying to market their group or their band or their performer, right? And they don't want anyone impersonating them in the first place. But there's no written law that says you can't, right? In music itself, right? Music knows imitation is a sincere form of flattery, right? But those in the music business are after one thing: your money. That can become greed. But that's why even copyright infringement, if it's a real musical lesson, knows people can teach any song, right? Legally, right? Right. And if you're teaching it legally, you're make money off of it. That's not illegal. You're doing it as a music teacher. Right? Your lesson is what you're selling, right? Even if you're using a copyrighted song, right? As part of that lesson that was released to the general public as a campaign, right? To get people to buy the whole album. That's like a poet letting the school use a poem from one of their books to teach from, right? To the students at the school, right? You're doing the same thing there. It's the same concept. You're releasing one of the songs on the radio to the general public, right? So people can teach that one song, right? They can't teach the whole album, you're right? Unless, again, you release a bunch of songs from the album. Again, that's part of the problem too, right? Once you release a song to the public, right, it sort of becomes public domain, even if copyrighted 50/50, right? Like any poet as well, who writes a book of poems. They'll release up to 10% of the poems, right? Or whatever percentage they want to, right? But anyone using those poems can teach from it. They just can't sell it as their own material. You understand that, right? That's the difference there. I'm not selling this as if I'm saying I'm Bon Jovi. No, I'm Shane Levy can just sing similarly by trying to impersonate the artist known as Bon Jovi. Right? Not thinking I sound close to him, right? Even if you don't. That's just my opinion versus your opinion in this little argument we're having about it anyway. You can't do any of that. Right? No normal person living in an apartment can rape anyone without everyone knowing in the apartment complex. Usually, when you're forced to have sex, you cry out. So that's what I heard. Unless you know what to do there, and I don't. Right? I don't rape people. Right? Never have. Never have. I've never raped anyone, male or female. My whole life. So I'm not a pedophile either. You can't have sex with children if you don't even hang out with them. Right? And my stepdaughter was sleeping with the mother. Right? She should have been safe all through the night. Me too. So children do not advance on their sleeping stepdad and let him do a sex act with them either. They would have to be coached or told to do that, right? By the mom. That's a conspiracy, to entrap the husband too. Right? You know the difference there, right? The difference is, if I was after the child and she was living there with her mom, I'd have to fear or be paranoid if the mom were to wake up anyway. So if I just went to sleep, and they did too, what are you even talking about? That wouldn't even make sense, right? And no matter how long I was asleep, if I woke up with her in there, I don't know what that is. I have no clock in the living room, I don't remember. I'll bet so. Right? And if you turn off the TV to go to sleep around 11 p.m., you expect to sleep till 6 a.m. the next morning, which can still be dark out, right? Or 7, whatever your sleeping pattern is. Right. But that's still 7 to 8 hours sleep, right? Now, my main problem, even with the sleep study, was even when I got a good night's sleep, I still fell asleep in one of the tests, right? It was only like 5 minutes, right? It wasn't as bad as in school or stuff like that as before, but then I was doing the watches and things like that too, right? See, when I told Dr. Gaffney and Dr. Weinrep everything, I was trying to make sure nothing was wrong because of the car accident, and that I didn't have any neurological or psychological problems from it either. Well, that was before Pastor Davis touched my ass, and before Pastor Thomas in 91 told me I wasn't one of the 2 witnesses too, right? And that was before King was electrocuted on the ship, right? And I had to deal with that with the shipmates, right? All that happened after Dr. Weinrep, not before Dr. Gaffney too, right? They're just trying to make sure nothing's wrong with me, right? And there wasn't. That's your problem there, sirs, ma'ams, or whatever. Well, unless I'm telling everyone, I can tell, alright. Alright, here's the other video. Now, it's darker now, so, but it's more about what I say. Right?
The lights are hung. November is possibly the real birth date of Jesus anyway. No one knows. Only Luke mentioned the 6th month, but which month, we don't know. June, come in. February, come in. And August, come in. Depending on your calendar. There's a civil and...
Now, June is the 6th month in the Roman calendar. The Jewish has the civil calendar and the sacred calendar. The sacred calendar starts in February, March. It's Nisan, right? And from that, you count 6 months for the 6th month, right? From there. That's the sacred calendar. The civil and birth calendar started in September for the Jews. So that would mean what, right? That's where they celebrate New Year's and Rosh Hashanah and things like that, right? That's their official civil New Year, right? So 6 months from September also could have been when you was conceived. We just don't know. We just don't know which state Luke meant, right? And, you know, all we know is the description Luke gave did not say which calendar he used, right? He did. He just said in the 6th month the angel Gabriel appeared to a virgin in Galilee named Mary, right? So there's 3 dates it could have happened, right? From each individual date, right? And they all arrive around November, December, right? March, April, and May, June. Somewhere in there. So those are 3 dates, but they're also before December 25th, right? So he was probably born not in December, but we don't know, right? But it could have been November, right? It's not really our choice either, but God's, right? Now, God might have used the sacred calendar over the civil, right? But we don't know. And that's the problem, too, about short stories in the Bible. If someone tells you the 6th month, was that the Roman calendar or the Jewish calendar, which is divided into 2 different calendars? One starts in the month of February, March of the Roman calendar, and the other one is September, August, September. This is the first month, right? And that's where they have their real New Year for the silver calendar, right? Which is also the birth calendar, right? But God is the sacred, so it could have been the sacred calendar or February, right? If it's February, it could be November, right? That's what we know too, right? Like I was conceived in February, according to the sacred calendar, not the civil. But February would be like the 9th month in the civil, right? I think.
But what does bother him is what? Why is that there? If you don't know, in our celebration on the 25th of December,
No, it'd be the 6th. I'm a little confused, right? It's the first month of the sacred, and that would be June, right? But the civil would be September, so that would be February, right? See what I mean? So if he is conceived by the civil calendar, which would be February, right? The 6th month, right? He would be born in November, right? Like I was like, and Jonathan too. How's that? My firstborn, right? Don't know about Patrick because Mary Bell's being stubborn about DNA test on. She's married to someone else, so I don't care, right? And she don't want to know, I don't want to know. Right? Do unto others, Mary Bell. You too, Mr. Somebody. I don't care. You don't care? I don't care. Right? We over all that. She's happy with you, I'm happy. If it makes you happy, it can't be that bad. If it makes you happy, then why the hell are you so sad? A little bit of my voice for Sheryl Crow's song. As a male voice.
You're not speaking of this morning. Now, the reason is that way, if Christ was fully conceived in the womb of the Virgin Mary without having sex with a man, conception would occur from her last period. From her last period, 40 weeks is measured, which is technically 38 weeks of pregnancy or 9 months.
So the sacred calendar, Jesus will be, the civil calendar, which is the birth calendar, and the Jewish calendar would be February when Jesus was conceived, the 6th month, right? If that's what it meant, right? Now we know the Roman calendar is June, but that would put it in March, right? So you're way off in celebrating in December, right? But if it's November, that's close enough, right? You can celebrate in December fine,
Like
right?
you're pregnant.
Problem is if it's in November, right? I mean,
That's why I was
June, which is the rolling calendar, right? That would be more March. That would be more March.
Yeah, I was just trying to make sure I didn't do the thing. You know, that crazy.
That would be really spring. That would be really spring.
I was just like, no, no.
So it depends on which calendar Luke meant, but he didn't say. He didn't say. So if he was writing to the Jewish audience, so he meant the symbol, right? So November would be the birth date, right? Though, it's hard to say when he would be born, right? Cause the Jewish calendar starts and ends sort of in the middle of the month with the Roman calendar, right? And they're not exactly on the same tier, right? When the middle of the Roman calendar starts, it is halfway around the 15th. Then the Jewish calendar is the first day for it, right? Sort of somewhere in there, right? So the Jewish calendar is more in the middle of the month to the Roman. And then the end of the month is again in the middle of the month, the beginning there too, right? And that's the point there too. It always sort of begins in the middle of the month, all right, and ends in the middle of the month, all right? Because there's 28 to 30 days in the month, and then every 3 years or so, the other month is added to make it 13 months periodically too, right? And I think every 7 years there can be 2 months added, right? Say that. Or after the 6th year, there might be another 7th or something like that, right? The following year, right? The 6th and 7th, I don't know.
My shipmates, well, they didn't want to work with me. Those stressors could have caused the voices to develop. When I was trying to seek God in prayer to marry Sheena. Now, I thought she was just breaking up with me because I told her God told me, stuff like that. I don't know why. Well, Jesus might thought that there were so many Bible studies and thought I was being a Bible thumper or something. That's all I can think of. So I just sort of, after a while, became paranoid that she would say I raped her or something too, right? That also is why I was talking to her. Well, like I said, all my letters back to you, right? But the problem is, I didn't get them first, so I should have. I have to get my mail from my division, the murder reline shop, Gina, and they give me my mail. So I got a few letters from them before all that happened. Hey, we both started writing each other somewhat normally, right? In your book and mine. And then we're sending each other out, right? I guess. I was not getting letters from you. That's all I know. I don't know why or what I did wrong to this day. All I know is he's going to make up.
I did get the one where you changed your name from Tina to Tina. That's all I know. That's all you know. They let that one come through, right? And then when you set them all back, Gina.
But initially, I didn't know what I did wrong.
Now, I was just saying you the Bible studies from Christian Fellowship Church that I got. I hand wrote them to you, right, and had me some paper on the ship, right. Then I was talking about me growing up in Georgia, right, and that was it. That was the whole month. Before we got to Sicily, right? We went from Palma to Sicily, both our ships, right? Are we on the same page there, right? Between then, we both started writing each other normally, right? Up to what? The 3rd or 4th letter from you, right? Then I didn't get any more letters from you, right? But I kept writing you anyway for up to a month, right? Then, when I got your broke up letter as Tina, right? using a different name. Maybe they let that one come through. I don't know there either. Maybe they were stealing your letters. I don't know. I don't know. If you wrote me after that too. I don't know what was going on, right? All I know is I was writing you normal love letters from a boyfriend to a girlfriend. I never changed my tone, right, in any of my letters to you, dear. Not personally, that I know of. Now, I didn't hear the voices until we got to Sicily, right? That was about a month after, right? That's when I got separated from the tour, right? I had to find my way back to the ship because I was trying to meet you and see if we could both meet up on a tour together or something, right? And after that, I got your breakup letter, right? Well, I was all confused, right? I thought that you were breaking up because I heard from God, and that's why I went trying to meet you, right? I thought I did. And heard the voice, Jerusalem, 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 right? But until then, I never heard that, right? Not even after the dream of seeing the Son of God in heaven, right? Now, I thought maybe I had because it's associated with chapter 11 first, right? If you're reading it chapter by chapter, and you have a dream, you see the Son of God in heaven, you read chapter 11, verse 4. These are the two olive trees standing before the God of the earth. And Jesus said, heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. And you stand before a throne with a light shining from it. Are you not standing in the presence in your mind of God? There you go. There you go. But I saw only the light source of life, not the sun source, the true light hovering above the throne. Now, it's rare you even see that in the dream. But that would be the pure source of life, and how we might would see it anyway. That formed your body to house it. You understand? You understand.
Then the second school was by Chapman City. And then the third was Fort Wentworth in downtown Fort Wentworth, and then Strong. First, second, and third. And third, I got held back and met Mr. Martin the second time to third. And then the fourth, we went to Final, I think. And we're there from then on. Fourth to the 11th for the second time, and then we moved to Garden City, right? To the trailer park. And again, now after Chatham City, we moved to Grange Road in Fort Worth as well, right?
See, I thought we lived on a lighthouse down a road near Skidaway, right? Around Pennsylvania Avenue or Skidaway, somewhere around there, right? Me and my dad and my mom before they got divorced. Now they got divorced after Chatham City, right? Then she, after her divorce from Bobby, married Big Rod, right? And they've been together off and on ever since, right? Now, when we moved to Garden City, she divorced him, and they got back together when I was in the Navy, right? And then they got into the house and stuff like that, right? Before, she lived in a little apartment herself with her and her daughter. Right? 2 bedrooms. Now I got me a 1 bedroom with Dayton Marybelle, right? In case I was to stay in Virginia and stuff like that too, after I got out, right? Because I didn't know exactly what I would do. And then when I went home in March of 95, or I think, or no, I got out in 95, so I went home in the March of 96 and broke up with her that year. And then by 97, she met Scott, right? In December of 96, right? And they got married real quick. That's all I know. That's all I know. And if she's happy, I'm happy. I don't give a shit. I can't worry about someone who don't want to be with me, you never really did. And if it was mine, she don't want to know, so I ain't got to know. As long as the boy is safe, it ain't my business. It ain't my business.
But then when you get more older, you gotta go to school. You're only on for summer.
And even though I'm more positive, that doesn't mean I got a pregnant or anything like that either.
Other things came out during junior high.
That's just possible, but not provable, right? DNA is the only proof, right? If you don't want the test, or he don't want the test, I can't do that. I know. He's old enough to seek me out on his own. By now. That's why I'm looking for his driver's license to see if I can at least find that. Then I know everything's kosher, right? He don't come and see me, right? Or seek it out himself, right? But if you don't tell him about me, I guess he don't know that either. But whatever. That's just the weird part of it, right? So I'm a little bit confused there too, but that's not because I'm stalking her, right? I didn't call her to talk to her, she called me to talk to me because she was having a problem with Scott, wanting to divorce her, and after all that, right? He must have thought he was someone else, not me. I was trying to deal with it with her, and being hypothetical, and suggested it could be Steve, and I guess she married Steve after that, right? That means she was lying to me about that relationship too, right? Which I accept that too, right? Congratulations, Steve. I guess you won. Because she still don't want it to be mine either way. So, like with Daphne raised Jonathan as her son. So did Maribel and Steve Patrick as their son. Right? I don't know nothing about the boy, right? And then first he was with Scott and thought it was his, and then Steven thinks it's his, right? I can't dispute that. Right? She obviously was with him too, right? So he won. At least in her mind, right? So she was lying when she said, again, she never had sex with him either, right? So I figured all that too, that's why I broke up with her myself, right? I didn't think she was believe me when I told her everything I told her either. If you don't believe me, it don't matter to me either, right? If you call it a coincidence, it becomes a coincidence to me, and I'll break up with your crazy ass. That's what I was telling you too, right? I don't break the rules for anyone, not even you. And if you treat me like shit, I'll break up with you too, move on from you too, like I did Sheen and Daphne too, right? I just ain't found out no one else to be with me, right? And waiting for a willing partner is not wrong either. That's all I'm doing. When I was younger and hotter and not as affected by my disability because of my weight and stuff like that too, right?
Anything actually occurred. You just might have had a dream, and in the dream, you got an erection, and that's called morning wood. We all get that too. Y'all get that. Now, I did have a little bit of joy. Some of one of my girlfriends, one of my first girlfriends, George probably got into mine while I was taking karate. He was sort of a heavy set guy, and he started picking on Joyce a little bit. But he really couldn't take it hurting her, but I didn't quite know what to do about it because of the karate class. Now, the problem was, he wasn't really hurting her, he was just sort of pushing her around a little more. Well, I can't really do nothing about that before he wasn't really hungry, but he was just being a bull to her. Now, she took karate, she
I don't remember that either,
Well, I
David.
couldn't
Right.
get it to me.
What happened between me and your sister, right?
Now, I wanted to defend her against that, sure. But I can't do that unless it involves me.
But we're both, you know, at a certain age that nothing really had to mean right now.
So anyway, I told my pastor I was never even hospitalized for anything but eye surgery on my right eye, and then tonsil surgery for my tonsil. So we all go do that. There's one of them that did this, no, like that. All of it, teeth, got my milk teeth, still in there, still. Like that. I ain't lost any of my teeth either. Or guys, already got it. We're just all things. For those who are thinking. Because the spirit is not male form. That's why Moses didn't want to use the worship male or female, but sort of the universe itself. As being the force of does. However it did it. Even gave the possibility that the female was originally inside the male and took it out of him. We told the story about Adam and Eve. Now, only two people would know it happened. Maybe three. That would be the tree of life, two all the good people, and Adam and Eve themselves. They are the only four who got kidnapped.
Now, if Adam, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life were human forms, right? And all three started out in darkness, and Adam was made from 1 to 2 to make Eve. And Satan had sex with them due not to the problem, right? That's why it's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right? The reason God divided Adam and Eve is so they could mate. Well, if Satan mated with them too, he would interfere in their marriage, right? That's adultery, right? The first sin of a sexual nature Moses warns about is adultery. Then stealing, then murder, then covetousness. I think. Now, some of that's in the reverse order. You covet before you commit adultery, stealing, or killing, right? Dude.
Now, what I'm thinking about doing with my walk was walking 2 days, 1 day, and then 3 days the other day. That would put me over 10,000 miles that day.
Sounds like an interesting
That way, because while I'm
American Funniest Home Videos on ABC.
5 times,
I think I'm recording it, so I'll watch it later.
don't want more than an hour. For the argument. I'm back in 8.
Certain shows I record and try to watch later. Right?
Deal with it.
Cause sometimes I'm laying in bed up to
That's the point.
um
I'm not.
16 hours, and I try to be up at least 8. So I used to be up 16, right? And sleep 8, right? Now I gotta rest 16. I might can be up around 8, but that's not usual either. I can't really set a time on it, cause daily I have to deal with the pain, right?
Then when you have to rest, you gotta rest, and that's what it is.
And some days it can be worse, and sometimes better, but it always hurts every day, right? So tomorrow I'm going up to the VA in Charleston again. I got to report to a certain room, A156. And then when I get back from there, which would be around, I'm supposed to appointment around 1, so I should be done by about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and be home by 3:34, and I'm going to go to Golden Corral for their Veterans Day meal with my card and ID. I got both. I got a military ID to get on the base, and I also got a VA card for disability. Want to see? I'm not supposed to show it to you because it's a government thing, but I got him. See, that way a foreign government can't copy them or something, right? Yeah, I still got my DD-214 and my discharge papers. I can show you who does it in your house.
I'm always under the metric that I conjure with mama.
When you do the chipmunks, you can do anyways. You can do anyways.
I'm like finger.
Time for joy and time for cheer.
Example?
That's where you go for
I told the witch doctor that I loved you, and he said, there's no one else here to do that but me. There's no other equipment I can do it with but me. My vocal cords can match the sound similarly to the chipmunks. And I'm just teaching you. You might can do it yourself if you believe in yourself. If you don't, you might not can. Right? I think some people do Lilo and Stitch. Michael, Amanda's kind of boyfriend, the girl that was living with me, when I started working for Tim, right? Holbrook. And Justine went batshit on me, right? Wouldn't even let me train me to be a delivery driver and let me ride in her car with her. Right? I mean, I can't rape you in broad daylight, which is what you seem to be insinuating. Right? You know, no one does that. No one does that. And even if I were to, you can't say it wasn't rape. No. I mean, but you think I can get out of it because of the paranoid schizophrenia? No. Even a paranoid schizophrenic can know what rape is and not rape you, right? That's insane. That's insane on your part.
Even if you're someone that attacks you, it does the same thing as a police. No matter how damage they think, right? Even if they think they killed you, you still alive within whatever it is. 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Some people can still survive. That's that long. That's the short period of time anyway. Now, knocking me out and then bringing me to the back too.
Now, when the boy and girl were raised by God through Jesus, the Father does the work, Jesus said. When the Father raised them from the dead, right? He did with the girl because on the way there, Jesus got touched by the woman with the issue of blood, right? That sort of delayed him getting there on time, right? So the girl was already dead. Now, how long she was dead? 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes? We don't know. We don't know. But when he got there, she was already dead. They were already mourning for her. You hired mourners in the old Jewish system as well, right? Who would mourn the death of the recently deceased. Right? Now, in the Jewish myth about resurrection, as long as you're resurrected between 3 to 4 days, that's you haven't seen corruption either. I was in the car accident, was out in the hospital number 2. That's what I mean there too, right? But blacked out kind of the whole time in a sort of semi-conscious state, right? That was about 41 hours there, right? I didn't fully come to until they will be out, right? And my mom picked me up, right? So I went back to school the following Tuesday, right? I was in the hospital Saturday and Monday, and released Tuesday and went back to school Wednesday, right? I think, right? Because I was released 1:30 on Tuesday, went in on Sunday, right? Around 6:30, right? So I was released at 1:50 on Tuesday and was back in school by Wednesday. That was 3 days too, right? So I resurrected, or was brought to the first time, right? Within 4 hours. If I was not that I would have killed and Rick. I don't know that either. You know? Because the windshield's in fact more on me than little Roddy, right? And he didn't get any glass in his body at all. That's weird. That's weird. Because the accident report said both the drivers and passenger side, when they surveyed the car, broke out as well. Only way Roddy can't get cut is if he wasn't in the car. That's the problem there. You can't get cut and your brother sit next to you and not get cut at all either. That's the weird part, right? That's why I'm saying conspiracy might have happened there. And then the thing with 3-story fall too, right? Because someone sat like it isn't as severe as it is and they didn't witness it. Or did they, right? As far as I knew, I accepted both the car accident until the 3-story fall, and even then I accepted the 3-story fall and started looking into both differently, and now I'm suspicious of both, right? What happened there too, right? But it wasn't always.
That was technically the way it's possible. I ain't worried about it. And the only reason I got married off is so I got married off something. Like I said, it's not why is there a reason like that? I don't want contact with her unless she wants contact with me anyway. Because the book, what happened there? It don't mean anything. Don't mean that to her, don't mean that to me.
I know what you're thinking. Someone in the industry knows the name of your soundboard, and they're calling this person Shane Edward Lee to mock you. No. I'm really Shane Edward Lee, right? My legal birth name, right? So I use it, because I don't know what you're talking about. I only heard it called the soundboard in the movie Blowout or something, right? That was a long time ago, right? And other than that, I don't know what's even called, right? But my legal birth name is Shane Edward Lee, if that's what you call it, right? You know what you call it. I don't even know, right? But my legal birth name is Shane Edward Lee, right? Can't change it. If you try to murder me, I can raise it from the dead if you're doing it for that reason. You'll piss it off. You'll take it off. You're the one who named it Shane Edward Lee, and my dad named me Shane Edward Lee too, right? That's just a coincidence, right? But if I learned to sing because I'm harmonic and know about unison early on in my life, right? It had nothing to do with the machine either. I didn't hear voices in my head telling me I could sing or not sing either. I just thought I was matching other people around me, even people on the radio, right? And when I asked my mom if she heard me singing, she said she didn't, which means I was mentioning people on the radio, right? As I was walking down the street one day. That's Chicago.
So we're all technically in rebellion. God is the whole church. But we act like we see. That's the problem.
Sweet Caroline. Your time's never been so good.
Now we're all actors in the world on stage. We're all part of a cause. The great machine of the human race. But the creator of us, we don't even know what it is. Some think it's alien, some think dimensional travelers or whatever. Or they're wormholes or things like that. Or whatever. Or we were genetically modified or modified.
Well, do you remember the Outer Limits or one of them in the plot of the show,
Which is what they're called.
a warlike race came to Earth, and when it came to Earth, we came together in peace, right? Well, the warlike race wanted us to be warlike, right? And that's why, again, some people do that, right? But who started the war in heaven? Jesus, the true firstborn of every creature, or Satan, the second evening star? Now, I don't know what problem Satan had in heaven to rebel anyway. We don't know the details, right? But it might have to do with the flaming sword used to guard the way to the tree of life. And what that means, and what that means in heaven. Now, heaven is not located in a spatial time continuum, right? In other words, heaven is a dimension of itself, right? We have at least the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third dimension. The second is considered drawing, right? And things of that nature. And the first is along the same lines, right? I think that's more lines and shapes is the first. And then the second is sort of drawing things. And then the third is a 3D type image, right? An environment, right? I think. Now, this is called the third dimension, right? So if there's a fourth dimension, that's heaven, which we can't see, right? Now, technically, it's the fourth dimension, but the third heaven, according to Paul, right? Two. Because there's the heaven of the earth itself, the heaven of space, and all the heavens of the stars and planets, right? And that contains everything else, right? And the galaxies and all that, right? And then that's two. And then there's the third heaven, according to Paul, or what we call the fourth dimension, right?
Your keys or something like that turns up missing and you know you have it, but you ain't been nowhere. And again, you have it. All you can do is try to pay harder. Make sure it stops. That's all you can do. But normally, you know your whole outlay, right? Now, some people might see the assessment. I just see it as I just said.
Now, like, my my other watch,
You're not my doctor. You're not my psychiatrist.
Um,
You're not my psychologist.
when I sit it down on this table here that I have, my table is about the same color as the watch, right? Now, if I don't, see it, then I might have to look for it a little bit. But again, I can generally, if I look for it or can't find it right away, and I keep looking for it, I'll still find it, right? Now, before I went for my walk, I couldn't find this watch to do my actual mileage, but we know it's around 2 miles anyway, so we already know that, right? Whether I do it or not, right? That's why the video is playing to show you I went on the walk, right? Either way, the walk is official, right? Whether I use the other watch or not, right? Especially if I do the recording this time, right?
We're arguing points on your proof. Hey, y'all all look crazy. I'm not moving when I say I'm moving. Move my birthday. No matter how much you want to, I was wrong without me. That might have a problem for me. Why? I live in New York or Chicago or Hollywood or Nashville or LA. I'll have a South Florida video. Do my music. I have to take that. Y'all have a professor, right?
Now, if Jesus was born in February, conceived by Mary in February or March, right? He would be born in November, December, right? Anyway. So the 25th, if we want to worship it that day, is fine, alright? It's close to that time. It's close to that time.
With a little take back from the 70s and 80s. And I
God won't let you do what it don't want you to do, and it'll blow your ass to hell. Right? It don't need anything to snuff your life out, retard, if it wants to, right? And if you're trying to snuff out a good person's life, it can resurrect that person from the dead, like Jesus, or the boy and the girl and Lazarus. And then those that raised from the dead with Jesus too, right? And then in the Bible, Tabitha and the boy who fell from the window of the third loft, he died and was resurrected by Paul. And other than that, those are the only two other resurrections in the Bible. Mentioned, right? Now, Elijah raised the boy the widow had from the dead, right? Or was it Elisha? It might have been Elisha or Elijah, I'm not sure. In the Bible. In, I think, 2 Kings. In the King James Version. Or most modern translations. Now, if you want to modernize Revelations 1:13, that's female breasts, dudes. Don't be ashamed of that if you don't understand it, right? That's the word John used there, right? I didn't, John did, John did. You gotta ask him why, but it does insinuate that when Paul said there's either Jew nor Gentile, bond nor free, male nor female, for you are one in Christ Jesus, that could be literal, right? If John said Jesus had female breasts, right? It's all you really gotta implicate, right? Is what Isaiah said about Israel sucking the female breasted kings, right? Plural.
don't realize that. Stop the music.
How you doing?
Fast money, fast career, burn out and fade away. And ain't always good. Ain't always good. Sorry.
You ain't got a problem with that.
Then you have a bunch of one-hit wonders that are popular on the radio, right? But that's the problem too, right? And then these bands get all hoity-toity with each other, want to fight amongst themselves, and that's the problem too. That's the problem too. I mean, the Beatles broke up, right? Why? Why? Not just Yoko.
Taken from Shama, which is his name in the Hebrew. Now the C-H-A-E is the first half, and then the B-A-H is the second half. So Yama is either eternal life or spiritual life.
Now, Isaiah uses Gabor, Ish, and Yokila, or something like that. Or Yokida, something like that. Which means young woman, right? God said, as all three, it exists, right? Gabor, Ish, and Yo, Chi, Da, or La, right? Now the Ah is young woman, the Ish is a man, and the Gabor is a light, and that mighty light. It exists as all three, right? And I saw the light hovering above the throne. Gabor. Mighty light. That's why my dream is biblical. Anyway. Who names a machine Shane Edward Lieb and then freaks out when a young boy is born given that birth name, right? For the corrupt music industry, right? Cause the young boy independently learned to sing with it, thinking it was a real human being himself, and learned to impersonate with it, cause he like Rich Little and comedians like that, right? Growing up, and can really match it, right?
How you doing there, boo-boo?
I'm fine, Yogi. How are you?
I'll see now, boy.
Ain't lost them since, a-hole. Explain that. Explain that. If I did, I what? Found them in the house. Found them in the house, right? Not where I look for them already. Not where you look for them already either. Not when they're in the house, they should what? Stay in the house. Stay in the house. If they disappear from the house, I guarantee you I'll look for them in the house and didn't find them in the house. You can say what you want. And pretend something didn't happen to me, but something happened to me, right? I just healed or something, right? Or whatever. But that was during the day, too. That's why I reported it, right? That don't normally happen to me, alright? So, like I said, don't be a dumbass and try and attack me during the day or night. Right? Won't work. Won't work. And a ghost can't do an hour or so long video either, retard. And look the same day to day. Either. Only got a few more minutes, it's almost over. That's why I'm doing long videos to bore the shit out of you, so you leave me alone, right? They let me because I'm a creator, right? I can really create new sounds too.
We can do it. We can do it. We can do it.
That's a new voice.
You stop it. Don't you stop that music.
That's a new voice. That's a new voice.
You don't really want to stop? Yeah.
Oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Live and let die. Live and let die. The Jamaican guy. The voodoo priest. The voodoo priest. Well, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. In your mind, you think I'm not the real Shayna Lee, right? Because you've been doing this since when, right? The 70s? That's when John Travolta's movie came out, right? Talking about the soundboard and using it to solve a crime, right? Through editing techniques. And going over the film footage of his I think he was a reporter or something like that, and he was going over his film footage to figure out what happened to make the car wreck, alright? So we got Shark Tank on, right? America's Funniest Video went off on ABC, right? For what you're hearing in the background. And that's that, right? Now, what ghost or what person attacked multiple times do you know can fully recover within a few, less than an hour or quicker, the same night they're attacked, right? Now, a lot of people can even do that, retard. And be severely injured in the pelvis and ankle, but still walk on it too, right? Fear the Lord and depart from evil, idiot. Or don't. I'm just a witness for it anyway. You'll see.